Hi, thank you for being here today. As we already know, today we'll be discussing on a topic that happened in Malaysia. So, the title of our topic today is Should Abortion Be Legal in Malaysia? Before we start our topic today, I would like to thank all of our panels for being here. For our first panel, we have a mother, Puan Fatia. Our second panel, a lawyer, Puan Aisyah. Our third panel, we have a doctor, Puan Zulaika, and our last panel we have a student from a private college, Nadia. As what I have mentioned earlier, our topic for this forum is Should Abortion Be Legal in Malaysia? So what is abortion? Abortion is the ending of a pregnancy by removing a fetus or an embryo before it can survive outside the uterus. And as we already know, Malaysia is not a country that supports abortion. So our panel one, Puan Fatia, as a mother, can you share your opinion about abortion? Yeah.
A very good morning to all the panels and our moderator. Okay, from my experience, as a mother of a daughter with unintended pregnancy, has led me to discuss why I agree with abortion. Let me tell you a story about my daughter. She was 16 when she got pregnant. She got pregnant because of the sex that she made with her boyfriend. I was very disappointed when I found about this. First thing first, the only thing that every parent care about is their child's safety. We don't want them to suffer in any way. Unwanted pregnancy will cause many health problems. The health problem that I mentioned for both, mentally and physically. My daughter has been suffered from mental health due to the unwanted pregnancy, and that's why I had suggested her to do the abortion. Legal abortion not only protects women's lives, but it also protects their health. The availability of legal abortion has helped avert serious medical complications that could have results from childbirth. And then for this point, it is more about an unwanted child. Most of our people in this country are very strict about unintended pregnancy. Without marriage, it's not only about religion that forbid the act of sex before marriage, but it had been a negative perspective among the people in this country. Even when precautions are taken, accidents can and do happen. I know it is the parents' responsibility to keep their children from those negative behavior, but at some moments we can't stop this from happening. In my daughter's situation, she was stressed out because of the thinking about how people might judge her. For some families, this is not a problem, but for others, such an event can be catastrophic. An unintended pregnancy can be increased tensions, disrupt stability, and push people below the line of economic survival. Family planning is the answer. All options must be open. And for the last point, raising a child is not an easy task that requires social and emotional commitment coupled with financial resources. As a mother, I have through a lot when I'm having a child. It is mentally and physically exhausting. I must manage things that I never done before. This what we call sacrifice. As such, if a person feels they are ready for a child, it means the pregnancy is unwanted and resultant allowing a fetus to grow into a child is worse than abortion, since the resultant child will grow in non-conducive and destructive environment without love, care and ability that a child needs. Many women who choose abortion don't have financial resources to support the child since they must raise the child alone.
Okay, thank you so much for your opinion. Next, we have our panel 2, Puan Aisyah. as a lawyer, can you share your thought based on this topic?
Yes, sure. Hi, my name is Aisha, and I'm a lawyer from Herban Springs. Under Section 312 of the Malaysia Penal Code, whoever voluntarily cause a woman with child to miscarry shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years or with fine or rebuke. And if the woman is caught with child, shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 7 years and shall also be able to fine. There are exceptions to this section, and this section does not extend to medical practitioner registered under Medical Act 1971, who terminates the pregnancy of a woman if such medical practitioner is of the opinion formed in good faith that the continuance of the pregnancy will involve risk to the life of the woman or injury to the mental or physical health of the pregnant woman greater than if the pregnancy were terminated. It was commented that Section 312 of the Penal Code outlined the importance of the opinion of one medical practitioner formed in good faith that the continued pregnancy involved risk of the life of the mother. Oh yeah, I suddenly remember the case I handled before, which is the case of Nirmala Thapa. In October 2014, Nirmala Thapa, who was 6 weeks pregnant, was arrested in Mertajam for undergoing an abortion. The doctor who carried out the procedure deemed it justifiable due to the mental trauma Nirmala will face from continuing with the pregnancy. The reason include her losing her job, having to pay her employer's compensation and facing the risk of deportation. Nirmala was subsequently convicted and was the first woman to be found guilty for an illegal abortion since 1989. After a turbulent year or so which involved her being recharged with same charge, she was finally acquitted in September 2015, and the case courted controversy as many feel Nirmala was unfairly targeted only because she was an immigrant. Another important takeaway from the case is the prevalent misconception regarding the legal status of abortions in the country. A survey of Reproductive Rights Advocacy Alliance Malaysians conducted in 2007, which polled 120 doctors and nurses, found that only 57% of respondents knew the law. This case also raised the debate on what rights women themselves have with regard to abortion as the law imposes the role of doctor instead. Through legal, abortion comes with a heavy restrictions in Malaysia. Section 312 of Malaysia's Penal Code states that the termination of pregnancy is permitted only when there is a risk to the life of the pregnant woman or a threat of injury to her physical or mental health. Most Malaysian practitioners, however, refuse to perform abortion to save the life of the woman, to preserve physical health, to preserve mental health. Okay, thank you.
Wow, that is a very good information. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our third panel, Puan Zulaika, as a doctor. You are a doctor, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you know the best about abortion better than all of us here. So can you please tell us what do you think about abortion?
Assalamualaikum and good morning. I'm Dr. Zulaika, an gynecologist. I'm self-employed and have my own private practice in larger clinic along with other practitioners. In my line of work, I provided antenatal care and carry out gynecological checkups and operations. I prescribe contraception, but I don't prescribe morning after pills or carry out abortions because of religious belief. Regarding to this topic, which is should abortion be legal, law, as far as I know, is a system of rules that society sets to maintain order and protect harm to persons and property. So, what is the definition of abortion in general? Abortion could be defined as an operation or other procedure to terminate pregnancy before the fetus is viable. It also means the premature termination of pregnancy by spontaneous or induced expulsion of a non-viable fetus from uterus. No matter how you twist or you try to beautify what abortion means, it still came to the same end of killing babies. It's a harsh fact, but that's the truth. Generally speaking, abortion does contradict the whole means of law, since according to an article in Harvard Law Journal, it concludes that the preborn baby is a constitutional person. As a doctor, I do believe governments responsible in preparing a sufficient facilities and means that were needed to those who seek abortion, as long as it is within the life and death situation, a case that will deteriorate the mother's health, whether it is physical or mental, then abortion is absolutely needed. My biggest frustration is that the debate or a thought always centers on this one small procedure, and yet we have not nearly enough debate or information on how to treat those who continue their pregnancies and struggles postpartum, as well as the families who suffers with so many different psychosocial issues. Then let's talk about general abortion that had no relations with life and death, where there are some movements out there are pushing for it to be available for any situation. In the recent scene related to abortion, we are having heated demonstration going on around the world about pro-choice and pro-life. So what is pro-choice and pro-life? Pro-choice literally fight for the woman's right, and withholding the belief that fetus is just a cluster of cells and their bodies is their choice. Then there is no harm in killing it, while pro-life fight for the right of the unborn baby, and they believe that life begins at conception and basically abortion is an evil act. In a situation where the person has unwanted or unplanned pregnancy, the rationale is not necessarily medical. In that moment, abortion may seem like the best option to them, but I'll discuss with them why they want to terminate it. I will talk them through the options such as adoptions and make them look at the short and long-term consequences. In terms of the procedure, some women end up requiring blood transfusions, others suffer damage to their uterus or cervix, or end up with an infection. The effect can be emotional as well, with some women may have acute depression after the procedure, and there is a risk that they might not be able to pregnant after again. A big fat reality check nowadays is a big portion of society believe that it is a choice to kill babies. I don't realize that we have come to a point in annihilating our own kind for our own convenience. It's mind-boggling on how we are so forward in development and globalization but have backward morality. We are fighting for human rights in the same time, but we deny the right of the little soul. People who believe that viability is the measurement for it is alright to abort a baby are absolutely nonsense. Kids are not viable when they are out of the womb. It's a common sense that kids need to be fed and nursed until they reach a certain age. If abortion is legal, then it proves that freedom is restricted to those who can speak, robs the voice and the future of these little children. The end. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zulaika. And our last panel, Nadia. You, as a student yourself, what do you think about abortion in Malaysia?
Okay, good morning to the moderator and all the panels. I am Nadia, a third student of one of the private college in Malaysia. Okay, as we know, recently the number of abortion increased rapidly. As a student, I oppose people who did the abortion. This is because in my life, I have an acquaintance who had bad experience with abortion. One day, one of my close friends got pregnant unexpectedly during our second year of studies. We were about to turn 19. I'm so shocked with the news and I found myself unsure of what she wanted to hear. Her boyfriend don't want to take the responsibility and left her. She chose to get an abortion. At first, I give some advice to keep the baby, but she resists and still wants to get the abortion. However, as her best friend, I showed some support by offering myself to accompany her to go to the clinic for the next procedure. In this case, I think both my friend and her partner should have taken responsibility for their behavior. Some people think that abortion is an easy way to avoid having a baby. Therefore, they mate whenever they want. And after that, if they notice a pregnancy, they will go to the hospital. It sounds very easy. However, it sounds that they lack responsibility to me. Abortion means to kill a new life and to endanger a woman's body. It seems that people who have an abortion easily think the fetus is just a thing. If they don't want to have a baby, there are ways to avoid having a baby before pregnancy. Therefore, to rely on just abortions means they don't have any responsibility. Okay, next. As I mentioned before, abortion is dangerous for a woman's body, especially at young age. Abortion is not the easy way that people think. As my friend Cassis, she need to go through many risky procedures as she was 16 weeks pregnant. She had heavy bleeding after doing the abortion and need to be treated by repeat suction and further medication. Unfortunately, many people don't know the reality. From my point of view, it's because the lack of education about abortion. The women who are pregnant don't know what abortion does to their body. And lastly, the other reason I think abortion needs to be illegal is because the baby himself or herself, whether he or she is born or not, has the right to live. Who can say that the baby has no hope? It's possible that the baby can have a better life than ours. We don't have any right to kill a newborn baby. Every child deserves a chance to live as much as possible, to stay strong against suffering, to spend time with loved ones, to be themselves, and to be human. The child would have been a gift for this world, an inspiration to others, unique, beautiful. Don't diminish this precious creation of God by arguing that she or he doesn't deserve to be here. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you for your story. So, for today, I would like to thank all of our panels for sharing your thoughts on this topic. So, today, we already learned about the pros and cons about abortion. And as we can see, there are a lot more bad effects than good ones if we allow abortion in Malaysia. So, I think we can conclude that abortion should stay illegal in our country. There are other ways to keep you and your baby safe, and abortion is not one of them. Thank you.